We got a great video for some advice on the 2 best moves that every high school wrestler should be drilling from a current high school wrestling coach and former collegiate athlete. So let's hear it. What is the 2 best moves that you should be working on? Number 1 is what?
And not just like your high school wrestler. If you're getting into anybody, these are positions that every high school wrestler, from all skill levels, should be doing. Number 1 is the front headlock.
Okay.
And
explain that from like a beginner standpoint, if you don't really know what you're talking about, all the way up to like a little bit more advanced, if there's difference in variations.
So there's different ways that you can get into a front headlock position.
Okay.
But it's one of the most common positions that you're going to run into. So that's why I say drill it. A lot of points happen in the front headlock position. If you go back and watch NCAA finals, all that stuff, majority of the scores come from that front headlock position. So whether your opponent shot or you snapped him down and now your chest is on his back and his head. So your feet are in front of his head.
So you're sprawled and here you are, now you're in this position.
That's the position we're talking about.
Okay.
Now, how do you get behind your opponent to get your 2? Or how do you get him to his back from this position? And that's the main 2 things that you're going to try to do from this position. And so if you can drill, there's a number of like different drills you can do. One is just movement. So get in the front headlock position and just kind of stay on your toes, keep your pressure on his head, and just move him around, move him from left to right. Try to get him to his elbows because a lot of times they're trying to post up, right? So if you can get them down to their elbows, now you can move a lot better.
So would you break this down into segmented drills as if one athlete shoots, you sprawl, and then you knock his arms out? Is that like a drill format that you would utilize? Or
Yeah, so you could do what you call movement drill with it.
Okay.
Where you're snapping and moving your opponent, right? And he's trying to keep his base. The guy who has the front headlock is trying to keep keep him moving, keep his hips moving, not letting him base back up, basically. So keep his elbows down, move him, bounce his head off the mat, that kind of stuff.
So what specifically, just to pry a little bit more, if I was a dad working with my son or something, right? Imagine you're trying to work with someone that's trying to get some extra work in. So how do I set this drill up? What would you do in your own home? Is there a way that you can do this? If I'm a 35, 40-year-old guy and I've got a 12-year-old son and I want to make sure that he was really getting this, how could you set this up with a mat in your living room?
Yeah, a little 10 by 10 mat. If you have one of those, that's great. A lot of wrestling dads do have that in their basement or somewhere. If you're in the wrestling world, you've got a little 10 by 10 mat.
Sure.
And you don't need a lot of space because really what you're doing, you're just moving in a circle, right? And you're trying to beat the edge is the objective. So you could do it in a game where guy on bottom, you're trying to keep your base. Don't let him break you down. Don't let him get behind you. Guy on top, you're trying to break his base. Your goal is to get behind him.
What's the best tactics you could use to get the base broken? If you're trying to get him on his chest, what would you do if you're on top?
The main thing is pressure with your chest. If you don't have pressure from your chest on him, which comes from staying on your toes, then it's going to be easier for him to keep his base, right? So you're trying to shift all your weight onto their chest.
Wide legs, I'm assuming,
Onto
so you
their
have
back.
a great base and you're on your
Yep,
toes.
stay on your toes so you can move, kind of like if you were going to do a tripod position, but eliminate the head from the tripod position. And then what you want to do from there, once you have that pressure, is get him to his elbows. So a lot of times they're based up, like I said, get them to their elbows.
What would you do?
A lot easier.
Pushing straight into their forearms, or
so
what's some good tactics?
There's a lot of different techniques as far as where to grab once you have the front headlock. I like to grab right under the chin. So get right under there, grab the chin, and then this hand is right on the elbow. So if I was going to grab your hand, it'd be right here.
Okay.
So now I can pull.
Okay.
I can pull that elbow down and kind of work my way into that. And then the easiest thing is just called like a Brands go behind. So you just snapping that down, you're blocking the arm, and you're going around and get your 2.
So what would you do in a drill format? Maybe 2-3 minutes on, or is this more of how many repetitions?
It'd be quicker. So it'd be like, I could give you a whistle start, and then you're just moving your opponent. So it's whistle, move your opponent, move them left to right, stay on your toes, keep that pressure on them. Once I blow the whistle, once I give it a double whistle, then you break down, you get your 2, right?
Gotcha.
So you can do it like that. And then you can increase, the other guy can increase, how much leverage he's giving you, how much success he wants to give you. But just if you're starting out, the guy on bottom is going to be more of a dummy guy. Just hold your base. But you're going to allow him to go behind you on that second, just so you can get the motions down.
So after you're in this position, what can you do to get your 2 points, to get to the back? What do people struggle with? What exactly is it that are some techniques that you can actually get that accomplished?
The number one thing that people do when they're trying to do a go behind from the front headlock position to secure that 2 points is not blocking the arm. So imagine someone's on top of your head, right? You got their chest up here, right? The one thing that you're trying to get them to do is stop from going behind you. So what you're going to try to do is throw this arm up there to stop them, okay?
So put it on their body, make sure they can't actually
block
get
it
around.
from going behind.
Right.
So that arm has to be blocked, and you can block it with your hand, you can block it with a knee, you can block it with a head.
Just trying to keep it closer to their body so they can't
pinch
stop
it
you.
in. So
Gotcha.
I like to use my head. Some people use their knees. It depends on your flexibility, but I think the easiest one to do is just use your head. So once you get your opponent broke down to his elbow, you're going to stick your head right there and block that arm so he can't come back behind. And that makes it a lot easier. From there, you can kind of drive with your head. You can grab an ankle, throw him to his hip. You can come around to the far ankle and just drive over. There's a lot of different things you can do from there, but that arm has to be blocked if you're going to secure your 2 on high-level wrestlers or really any kind of wrestler in that position. You got to block the arm.
That seems pretty, if you're skilled in the world of wrestling, makes a lot of sense.
Right.
You could be drilling this at home. What would be a second move or the second type of exercise that these guys should really be focused on?
So the number 2, I guess it's not really a move. It's more of a position again, is single leg position. And in my opinion, it really doesn't matter how you get to the single leg. What matters is after you get to the single leg, what do you do? So you can do a lot of drills where, and just to kind of verse you on this, there's 2 types of single legs. You can do a head outside single leg where your head's on the outside of their body. And you can do an inside head single leg where your head's on the inside. So you're kind of faced this way, you're both faced this way, but your head's on the inside. The most common one is going to be from the mat with a head inside single. That's the most common. So if you can get to that position, and if, most coaches or most wrestlers will know what I'm talking about in that position. Your head's inside, your opponent maybe has a whizzer here, you're on your knees, but you've got this one leg. That's probably, I said front headlocks was the number 1 place of scoring. Number 2 is probably the single leg.
So if those 2 are your main focus points for anyone that's a little bit younger, that were, what move should I specifically get best at? These are going to be the best recommendations, in your opinion, to kind of help you. As soon as you can accomplish those, then you can be moving on to more advanced skills.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things that you can do, a lot of different techniques, a lot of different moves in the wrestling world. But as far as what comes up the most often in matches, from my perspective, it's the front headlock and the single leg position.
And if you're not good at them or good at blocking them, you're not going to be performing at your best anyway.
Yeah, you're gonna struggle. You're
Right.
gonna struggle to get to.
What about
your
defending
offense.
these positions? Because if that's what I'm dealing with and trying to be the best offense I can be, what are let's go through each one of them from a defensive perspective. So what would the go-to be if you're trying to stop someone from getting a 2 coming around to your backside? Well, you kind of mentioned it a little
Right.
bit. Be a little bit specific. Let's go through each exercise.
So your defense from the front headlock position, you're kind of thinking in the perspective of what are this guy's strengths right now. And one of his strengths is that he has your chin locked under his arm, is the headlock, right?
Right.
So what you have to do first is attack that. And you attack it by grabbing up high on the elbow. A lot of people try to grab it from the hand right here. If the hand's on your chin, it's like, peel there. But really what you want to do is take away the leverage and pull that elbow down. If you can attack the elbow, and you can use both hands. If you can escape your head from that position, you're basically out.
Right.
Now it's just a matter of circling him, getting back up to your feet, or getting to a leg if he leaves his legs dangling there. So, but the number 1 thing, the front headlock position, he's got your chin.
Go from the elbow, not the hand.
Yeah, go from the elbow, not the hand.
Okay, and then the second move from, what'd you say the second one was? The single leg. What would be the best way to defend that?
So from the single leg position, a lot of guys where they struggle is some guy gets my leg, right? So they'll just stick a whizzer in, and they'll kind of stay side by side on that guy. What you want to do in that position is square up with your opponent. And so what that means is drop the hip that he has that leg. He's probably around your knee. So what you want to do is try to get him up to your thigh And why
So
would
you're
you do
stepping
that?
to him almost. Is that what you're saying?
Well,
Shift and step
really,
to him.
really, all you're doing is squaring your hips to the mat.
Okay.
So if I'm on my knees and I kind of like think of it like a arch position, like from your back. You've ever done those exercises for your if your lower back's hurting? You're like,
Yeah, a little stretch.
just
Yeah, I
arch
got
that
you.
back. So that's kind of what you're doing, and your pelvic area is on the mat, and what you want to try to do is rotate that over his head, right? So rather than trying to fight a whizzer, this guy's got your leg with two hands, right? If he's got a strong grip, it's gonna be very hard to break that with a whizzer.
Right.
But if you can get your hips involved, now he's fighting a different beast. So the
then
number one thing is just
if you
square up.
get your hips involved, then what's the offensive position from there? Just
From there, just push off. You're trying to break the grip from here. So just slide your hips lower onto that mat. So just keep sliding it down, working it. And it's a tough position. If you got a good grip, this is a tough position for your opponent to get out of. If you have a good grip and you're on a single leg, so it's a battle in there. But you're gonna find that if you drill this stuff, if you get a partner, tell them to hold on to that leg and just hold it and don't let go. And what you're gonna try to do is just work your hips down until his hands break. And now guess what? Now guess what position you're in?
oh,
You're in the front headlock position.
Oh, gotcha.
So now you've got the advantage.
I see what you mean. So you're sliding
Yeah.
your body down, so then
Yep.
you're in the offensive position. Now you immediately just transition right there.
And this is why these two they kind of go hand in hand. Because you can even say, all right, break. So do your defense on the single leg defense. Work your hips out front, break the lock. Now do your front headlock go behind.
So when you're training guys, is this something that you're drilling right out of the gates, like week one with all your groups?
It depends. These two positions, if I had my own little perfect world where I was gonna run a practice and you're gonna learn my techniques and you're gonna kind of do it my way kind of thing, this is something that's gonna be drilled every day. So where a lot of times in high school rooms you'll see where they just, all right, get warmed up, let's take some shots, but don't finish them yet. I'm gonna say let's get down in front headlocks right now, go, or let's get down to the single leg position right now, go. Right? Because these things are, in my opinion, the most important positions in high school wrestling.